Imagine how much of our life is wasted, not because we don't have energy, but because we give it to the wrong people. You see, the truth is, not everyone you invest in will invest back in you. Not everyone you pour your heart into will appreciate it. And the mistake most of us make is trying to convince people who are not ready to value us. We chase their approval, we try to change their opinions, and in the process, we lose our peace. Life is too short to keep proving your worth to people who have already decided not to see it. When someone constantly drains you, when their presence leaves you exhausted instead of uplifted, it is not your responsibility to keep them close. You are not meant to light up someone's darkness while extinguishing your own flame. Relationships should recharge you, not deplete you. They should add value to your life, not take away your joy. Think about it. If you had a limited amount of money, would you keep spending it on things that give you nothing in return? Of course not. Then why do we do that with our energy, which is far more precious than money? Every day you wake up with a certain amount of emotional, mental, and spiritual energy. That energy is your life force. If you keep giving it away to people who don't respect it, you'll never have enough left to build your dreams, to care for the people who truly love you, or even to take care of yourself. You don't owe your peace to everyone. You don't have to explain your worth to those who choose not to see it. Sometimes, walking away is not an act of arrogance. It is an act of self-respect. And when you stop wasting your energy on the wrong people, you create space for the right ones to enter. The right people don't drain you, they inspire you. They don't compete with you, they cheer for you. They don't doubt your value, they remind you of it when you forget. So if you are tired, maybe it's not because life is too heavy. Maybe it's because you are carrying people who were never meant to walk your path. Release them with kindness, but release them. Protect your energy the way you would protect a priceless treasure, because that is what it is. Your energy shapes your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape your destiny. Stop giving pieces of your soul to those who don't even notice. Start giving your energy to those who nurture you, to the dreams that excite you, and to the purpose that fulfills you. You are not here to be drained, you are here to shine. And remember, the wrong people will distract you, but the right people will direct you. Choose wisely, because your energy is your life. There comes a time in life when we must pause and ask ourselves, who am I giving my energy to? Because energy is not unlimited. We wake up every morning with a certain reserve of mental, emotional, and physical strength. And if we are honest, so much of it gets drained, not because of the responsibilities we carry, not because of the challenges we face, but because of the wrong people we keep entertaining in our lives. The truth is, not everyone deserves your energy. Not everyone deserves that precious emotional investment you keep pouring out so freely. Yet, many of us spend years, even decades, exhausting ourselves trying to win over people who have already made up their minds not to value us. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you gone out of your way to please someone who doesn't even notice your efforts? How many nights have you lost sleep, replaying conversations in your head, wondering if you said the right thing, worrying about whether someone approves of you or not? And how often do those people actually add value to your life? More often than not, the answer is very little, sometimes nothing at all. We sacrifice our peace of mind just to gain the acceptance of people who were never willing to accept us in the first place. Isn't it strange how we give the loudest voices in our head to the people who matter the least to our growth? We all know what it feels like to be surrounded by those who take without giving. They drain your spirit, leaving you tired and frustrated, and yet you keep returning to them, thinking that maybe this time they'll change, maybe this time they'll see your worth. But here's a liberating truth: you cannot make someone value you if they have already chosen not to. You can give, you can try, you can bend over backwards, but if someone doesn't want to respect you, no amount of effort will make them. And that's why not everyone deserves your energy. Now, this doesn't mean we stop being kind, compassionate, or loving. No, it simply means that our kindness should have boundaries. Compassion should not turn into self destruction. Love should not mean losing yourself just to hold on to someone else. Sometimes, we confuse persistence with purpose. We think that if we just try a little harder, if we just prove ourselves a little more, they will finally appreciate us. But life doesn't work that way. The people who are meant for you will not need endless convincing. They will see your worth naturally, without you having to audition for their acceptance. Let's take an example. Imagine you are in a garden with a bucket of water. You have enough water to nourish a few plants, but instead of pouring it on the flowers that will bloom and give fragrance, you keep pouring it onto rocks. No matter how much water you give the rocks, they will never grow, never bloom, never give anything back. And yet, day after day, you exhaust your bucket trying to make something impossible happen. This is exactly what we do when we give our energy to the wrong people. We pour our time, attention, and emotions into people who are not capable of appreciating them, while the ones who could truly grow with our love are left thirsty. The problem is, many of us have been conditioned to believe that we must earn love, earn respect, earn approval. From childhood, we are often taught that if we perform well, if we behave a certain way, if we make others happy, then we will be worthy. And so, as adults, we carry the same mindset into our relationships. We keep trying to prove ourselves to people who have no real interest in understanding us. But here's the shift we must make. Your worth is not up for negotiation. Your value does not decrease based on someone's inability to see it. Just because someone cannot recognize your light does not mean you are not shining. When you finally realize that not everyone deserves your energy, you begin to see life differently. You stop chasing approval. You stop explaining yourself endlessly. You stop giving chance after chance to people who repeatedly show you who they are. You begin to conserve your energy for the people who uplift you, support you, and celebrate you. And more importantly, you begin to save some of that energy for yourself. Because here's the truth, you cannot keep pouring into others if you are running on empty. Now, you might ask, but isn't it selfish to hold back my energy? Isn't it unkind to withdraw from people? And the answer is no. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It is necessary. Imagine if you had a phone and you kept giving it to people to use, but never recharged it. Eventually, it would die, and then it would be of no use to anyone. The same is true for you. You must recharge yourself by being selective with where your energy goes. That's not selfishness. That's sustainability. That's wisdom. Look around your life right now. Who are the people that drain you? Who are the ones that constantly bring negativity, doubt, or drama into your space? Who are the ones that leave you feeling smaller, not bigger, after you've been with them? Those are the wrong people for your energy. On the other hand, who makes you feel alive, who encourages you, supports your dreams, listens when you speak, and reminds you of your value, those are the people who deserve your energy. And when you shift your focus, when you stop giving yourself to the wrong crowd, you start to flourish in ways you never thought possible. It takes courage to admit that not everyone is meant to stay in your life. It takes strength to walk away from people who are familiar, even if they are toxic. But if you want peace, if you want growth, if you want joy, then you must protect your energy. Because the truth is, your energy is your life. Where you spend it, who you give it to, will determine what kind of life you live. Sometimes, the best thing you can do is to stop explaining, stop convincing, and simply step back. Not with anger, not with bitterness, but with clarity. You don't have to fight, you don't have to prove, you don't have to argue. You just have to decide my energy is too precious to waste on the wrong people. And when you make that decision, life begins to align. The noise fades, the distractions lessen, and the right people, the right opportunities begin to show up. So remember this simple truth, Not everyone deserves your energy. Some people are lessons, not destinations. Some are chapters, not the whole story. Don't let temporary characters drain your permanent spirit. Protect your energy because it is the fuel that drives your destiny. And when you stop wasting it on those who don't matter, you finally have enough left for those who truly do. Every day, people wake up and think about money. They worry about how much they have, how much they don't, how much they need, how much they want. But very few people stop to think about something far more valuable than money, your energy. Because you can always earn money back. You can save it, invest it, even lose it and still recover. But once your energy is gone, it's gone. You can't rewind time, you can't refill wasted hours, and you can't reclaim the emotional strength you give away recklessly. Your energy is more precious than money because it is the very currency of your life. Think about it. What do we do with money? We calculate it. We budget it. We invest it wisely. We get upset when someone cheats us out of it. But when it comes to energy, our emotional, mental, and spiritual power, we spend it like it's unlimited. We give it to people who don't respect it, to arguments that don't matter, to situations that never change, and then we wonder why we feel empty, tired, and drained. If you treated your energy like your bank account, would you allow anyone to just keep withdrawing without depositing anything back? No. But when it comes to people and relationships, we let withdrawals happen every single day without realizing the cost. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone hands you $100 at the start of the day. They say, "This is all you get today. Spend it however you want." Now, if you're wise, you'll think carefully. You'll buy food, you'll take care of what's important, and maybe you'll save some. But if you're careless, you'll spend it on useless things, and before the day even ends, you'll be broke, left with regret. That's exactly what happens with your energy. Every morning when you wake up, you are given a certain amount. And just like money, you get to choose where to spend it. The question is, are you investing it in things that build your life, or wasting it on things that drain your soul? Now let's compare energy and money a little deeper. When you waste money, you can still go out and work harder to earn it back. But energy doesn't work that way. If you waste your emotional energy fighting battles that don't matter, you can't just go to a bank and withdraw more. You have to rest, you have to recharge, you have to heal. And if you've been giving your energy to the wrong people for years, the recovery can take years too. Money lost is a setback. Energy lost can become a lifetime of regret. Some people will argue, but money is necessary to live. Of course it is. But energy is necessary to even make money. Think about it. Without energy, you can't think clearly. Without energy, you can't work, you can't create, you can't connect with others. Energy is the foundation upon which everything else stands. A wealthy man with no energy to enjoy life is poorer than a simple man who is full of vitality, joy and purpose. Energy is life itself. And here's the dangerous part. Because money is so visible, we measure it, we track it, we obsess over it. But energy is invisible. You can't see it draining away, but you can feel it. And sometimes you don't even notice how much has been stolen until you're completely exhausted. That's why it's even more important to guard it. How many times have you felt drained after a single conversation? You had plans, you had ideas, but after talking to someone negative, judgmental, or toxic, all your energy was gone. That was a withdrawal. How many times have you scrolled endlessly on social media, filling your mind with comparison, envy, or fear, and then realized hours have passed, leaving you more tired than when you started? That was another withdrawal. You may not notice it, but your energy account is being emptied. And unlike money, you can't call the bank and ask for a refund. Now let's look at the people around you. Just like in finances, there are spenders, savers, and investors. Spenders are those who take your energy and give nothing back. They drain you with complaints, gossip, criticism, and negativity. Being around them feels like paying bills you never signed up for. Then there are savers, the ones who don't drain you, but don't necessarily add much either. They keep things neutral. But then there are investors, the people who inspire you, encourage you, and support you. When you spend energy on them, it multiplies. They are like good investments that yield a return. The challenge is, many of us keep pouring into spenders and neglecting the investors. We give our prime energy to those who waste it and leave nothing for those who would value it. Here's another perspective. Think of your energy as sunlight. The sun shines equally, but not everything grows under its rays. Some things flourish while others wither. If you direct your sunlight on fertile soil, flowers bloom, fruits grow, and beauty expands. But if you keep shining on barren land, nothing will grow, no matter how bright your rays. The question is, are you shining your energy where growth is possible, or are you wasting it on barren ground? This is where wisdom comes in. It's not about becoming selfish, it's about becoming strategic. Just as a good investor studies where to put money for the best return, you must study where to put your energy for the best outcome. Ask yourself, does this relationship uplift me or deplete me? Does this habit recharge me or exhaust me? Does this goal excite me or drain me? And if the answer consistently leans toward depletion and exhaustion, then you are pouring your most precious currency into a bottomless pit. The people who truly succeed in life are not the ones with the most money, but the ones who use their energy wisely. They know when to walk away from draining conversations. They know when to rest, when to say no, when to redirect their focus. They treat their energy as sacred because they understand it is the foundation for everything else. And the beautiful truth is, once you master where your energy goes, money and success often follow naturally. Because your clarity, your creativity, your productivity, all of these rise when your energy is protected. But let's be honest, it's not easy. Sometimes the people draining your energy are the closest to you. Sometimes they are friends, family, co-workers. And you feel guilty even thinking about pulling back. But here's a gentle truth. You cannot save someone by destroying yourself. If someone constantly depletes you, you must set boundaries, not because you don't love them, but because you love yourself enough to survive. Remember, even the kindest heart needs limits, because without limits, it will eventually collapse. You must also pay attention to how you spend energy on your own thoughts. Worry is one of the biggest thieves of energy. You can sit for hours worrying about something that may never happen, and by the end, you're mentally exhausted without having done anything productive. That's like spending money on something imaginary and having nothing to show for it. Instead, redirect that energy towards solutions, creativity, and gratitude. Because when you focus your energy wisely, it multiplies. In the end, life is not about how much money you had, but how you spent your energy. Did you waste it trying to convince people who never cared? Did you pour it into endless distractions? Or did you invest it in meaningful relationships, purposeful work, and inner peace? That's the real measure of a rich life. So the next time you find yourself giving too much to people who don't value it, remember this: your energy is your life. Protect it, save it, invest it wisely. Because once it's gone, no amount of money in the world can buy it back. One of the hardest lessons in life is learning when to walk away. We often think that holding on is a sign of strength, but in reality, there are times when true strength lies in letting go. Walking away is not arrogance. Walking away is not about pride, ego, or disrespect. Walking away, when done with clarity and kindness, is one of the deepest acts of self-respect. It means you have finally realized that your peace is worth more than their approval, that your dignity is worth more than their presence, and that your energy is worth more than their endless demands. We live in a culture that sometimes glorifies endurance. People tell us, don't give up on people. Keep trying, keep proving, keep waiting, and yes, persistence has its place. But persistence without wisdom becomes punishment. There's a fine line between being patient with someone and allowing yourself to be mistreated by them. And when that line is crossed, walking away is not giving up. It's growing up. Think about this: if you were holding onto a rope and someone kept pulling it, the longer you hold, the more it cuts into your skin. You keep holding, thinking, maybe they'll stop pulling. Maybe it will get better. But the reality is, the pain only grows deeper the longer you refuse to let go. And when you finally release that rope, yes, there is a sting, but there is also relief. That's what walking away feels like. Pain at first, but peace in the end. Many people hesitate to walk away because they fear being judged. They worry others will say, "You're arrogant, you're selfish, you think you're better than them." But let's pause here. Is it arrogance to protect your sanity? Is it arrogance to value your well-being? Is it arrogance to say, "I deserve better"? No, that's not arrogance. That's self-respect. Arrogance says, "I'm better than you." Self-respect says, "I'm better than this situation." And the two are worlds apart. We've all met people who expect us to shrink so they can feel tall. They expect us to tolerate behavior that disrespects us, to keep forgiving actions that break us, and to keep giving chances they never truly earn. And for a while we comply, out of love, out of loyalty, or sometimes out of fear of being alone. But deep inside, we know this is not how life is meant to be lived. You are not meant to constantly beg for love, attention, or respect. And when you finally walk away, you reclaim your dignity. You reclaim your power. You reclaim your voice. Walking away does not mean you hate them. It does not mean you wish them harm. It simply means you choose yourself. You choose peace over chaos, growth over stagnation, clarity over confusion. And often walking away is the greatest gift you can give, not just to yourself, but to the other person as well. Because sometimes when you leave, it forces them to confront their own behavior. And whether they change or not is their journey, not yours. Your job is not to fix people who don't want to be fixed. Your job is to live a life of integrity, joy, and fulfillment. Now let's use a simple analogy. Imagine you're sitting in a movie theater. The film playing on the screen is depressing, boring, and not at all what you want to watch. You've given it time, hoping the story gets better, but it doesn't. Do you sit there until the end, wasting your evening just because you bought the ticket? Or do you stand up, walk out, and choose a better movie? Most of us would leave, right? Then why do we sit through relationships, friendships, or environments that keep draining us just because we've already invested time? Life is too short to keep watching the wrong movie. Walking away is not arrogance. It's choosing a better story for yourself. But here's the challenge. Walking away often comes with loneliness. When you step out of a toxic relationship, a draining friendship, or a suffocating environment, there is a void. And that void feels uncomfortable. Many people go back, not because things have improved, but because they can't stand the silence. But let me remind you, the silence of peace is far better than the noise of chaos. Being alone for a while is far healthier than being surrounded by the wrong company forever. Don't mistake loneliness for loss. Sometimes loneliness is freedom in disguise. In fact, some of the most successful, joyful, and grounded people in the world became that way because they had the courage to walk away. They walked away from jobs that didn't respect them, from relationships that didn't value them, from habits that didn't serve them. And yes, it hurt at first. Yes, it was uncertain. But every time they walked away from the wrong thing, they walked toward the right thing. Because life doesn't just take away, it also replaces. The space you create by walking away from negativity becomes the space where positivity can finally enter. Here's another perspective. Walking away is like pruning a tree. If you leave every branch, even the dead ones, the tree wastes energy trying to feed what will never grow. But when you cut off the dead branches, you're not harming the tree, you're helping it thrive. In the same way, when you let go of dead-end relationships, you're not being cruel. You're simply making room for growth. I know this isn't easy. Sometimes the wrong people are people we love deeply. sometimes their family, friends, partners. And walking away feels like betrayal. But what's worse, betraying someone else's expectations or betraying yourself. Every time you stay in a situation that destroys your spirit, you betray yourself. And self-betrayal is the most painful betrayal of all. Because you're the one who has to live with yourself when the lights go out and silence fills the room. There will be moments when you'll second guess your decision. You'll wonder, did I do the right thing? What if I had stayed? But always remember why you walked away in the first place. Remember the sleepless nights, the endless drama, the constant disrespect. Remember the exhaustion, the tears, the weight on your chest. You didn't walk away because it was easy. You walked away because it was necessary. And when doubt creeps in, remind yourself, I chose peace. I chose self-respect. I chose freedom. Walking away is an art. You don't have to slam doors or burn bridges. Sometimes you walk away quietly, gracefully, with no explanations. You don't need to announce your worth to those who couldn't see it in the first place. The loudest statement you can make is not what you say, but what you no longer allow. Your silence, your absence, your refusal to keep pouring energy into the wrong people, that speaks louder than any argument ever could. So if you are standing at a crossroads today, wondering whether to keep holding on or to finally let go, hear this: walking away does not make you arrogant. Walking away does not make you unkind. Walking away makes you wise. It shows that you respect yourself enough not to settle for less than you deserve. It shows that you understand your worth and that you refuse to compromise your peace. Because at the end of the day, you only have one life, one chance to live it with joy, with meaning, with dignity. Don't waste it begging for respect from people who refuse to give it. Don't waste it shrinking to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. Don't waste it holding on to hands that keep letting go of you. Stand tall, take a deep breath, and walk away. Not with anger, not with arrogance, but with love for yourself and gratitude for the lesson. Remember, letting go is not the end, it's the beginning. Walking away is not a closing chapter, it's turning the page to a better one. And one day, you'll look back and thank yourself for having the courage to choose self-respect over self-destruction. Because when you walk away from what was wrong, you walk into everything that's right. Your life is the sum of what you give your energy to. Every thought, every emotion, every action, it all begins with where your energy flows. People often talk about destiny as though it's something written in the stars, something beyond our control. But the truth is, destiny is not just about what's written. Destiny is shaped by the daily choices you make, and those choices are guided by how you spend your energy. If your energy is scattered, your life will feel scattered. If your energy is wasted, your future will feel empty. But when your energy is focused and directed with intention, your destiny becomes powerful, meaningful, and fulfilling. Energy is not just physical strength. It's the force that drives your mind, your emotions, and your spirit. When you wake up each morning, you have a certain amount of it. Where you place it determines the direction of your life. If you keep pouring it into anger, bitterness, resentment, and endless negativity, don't be surprised if your life feels heavy and dark. But if you invest it into gratitude, love, purpose, and growth, your life naturally begins to rise higher. What you feed with your energy grows. What you starve of your energy fades. That is the law of life. Think about a farmer with seeds. He has a bag full of seeds, but only a limited amount of water. If he pours his water into weeds, the weeds will grow strong. If he pours his water into crops, the crops will thrive. Energy is your water, your attention, your focus. And just like the farmer, you must decide, will you spend your energy feeding weeds or nourishing growth? Because whatever you water will eventually become your reality. The truth is, life is not about how much potential you have. Everyone has potential. The difference between those who live fulfilled lives and those who don't lies in energy management. Two people can have the same talent, the same intelligence, the same opportunities. But if one wastes their energy on distractions, on gossip, on toxic relationships, and the other directs their energy toward discipline, learning, and meaningful relationships, their destinies will look completely different. Not because one was luckier, but because one understood the value of energy. Sometimes we think destiny is out of our hands, as though we're powerless passengers on life's journey. But your energy is the steering wheel. Where your focus goes, your life follows. If you focus your energy on everything that's wrong, everything that hurts, everything that you fear, then you'll drive your life straight into a storm of misery. But if you focus on what you can change, on what inspires you, on the people who lift you up, then you'll steer yourself toward peace, progress, and purpose. Let's pause and reflect. How many hours have you spent worrying about things you cannot control? How many days have you wasted replaying old hurts in your mind instead of creating new memories? How much energy have you poured into people who never gave anything back? Every one of those hours was a brick in the path of your destiny. Every one of those wasted moments shaped where you are today. And if you don't change, it will shape where you'll end up tomorrow. The future is not a mystery. It's simply the outcome of how you choose to spend your energy now. Here's another way to see it. Imagine your energy as the lens of a camera. If the lens is blurry, your photos will always come out distorted, no matter how beautiful the scenery is. But if you clean and focus the lens, suddenly everything is clear and sharp. In the same way, if your energy is blurred by negativity and distractions, your life will always feel confused and unsteady. But when your energy is aligned with clarity, your destiny comes into focus. You begin to see where you're going, and you begin to attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right moments into your path. You've probably heard people say, where attention goes, energy flows. That's not just a nice saying. It's a profound truth. If you give attention to problems more than solutions, your problems will multiply. If you give attention to failures more than lessons, your failures will define you. But if you give attention to growth, possibilities, and gratitude, your life expands in beautiful ways. Energy is not just something you use. It's something that shapes who you become. Even your relationships are shaped by energy. If you pour energy into judgment, criticism, and ego, your connections will become weak and bitter. But if you pour energy into kindness, patience, and listening, your connections will deepen and strengthen. Your destiny is not just about your personal achievements. It's also about the relationships you build along the way. And every relationship, whether it thrives or dies, depends on the energy you give it. But here's where many people make a mistake. They think energy is infinite. They live as though they can keep wasting it endlessly on the wrong things, the wrong people, the wrong battles. But just like your phone battery, your energy depletes with time. And unlike your phone, you can't just buy a new one when this one dies. This life, this body, this mind, this spirit, this is the only battery you get. That's why it is so important to spend it wisely, to recharge it often, to protect it fiercely. Because your energy is not just shaping today, it's shaping your entire destiny. Sometimes protecting your destiny means saying no. No to distractions, no to negativity, no to people who drain your spirit. And saying no does not make you unkind. It makes you intentional. Every no you say to something that drains you is actually a yes to your destiny. Every time you refuse to waste energy on what doesn't matter, you give yourself more power to focus on what does. Your destiny doesn't require you to please everyone. Your destiny requires you to stay aligned with purpose. There is a reason why successful people guard their time and energy so carefully. It's not because they are cold or arrogant. It's because they understand that energy, once spent, never returns. They know that 1 hour wasted is 1 hour of destiny delayed. That's why they are selective about who they spend time with, what they give attention to, and how they use each day. And if you want to shape a destiny that inspires you, you must do the same. Let's not forget energy is not only spent externally. Sometimes the biggest drain is internal, your own thoughts. Self doubt, fear, guilt, and regret can consume massive amounts of energy. And here's the irony, most of the things you fear never actually happen, and most of the things you regret cannot be changed. So why let them rob your destiny? Instead of giving energy to fear, give energy to faith. Instead of giving energy to regret, give energy to action. Instead of giving energy to guilt, give energy to growth. Where you place that energy will determine what your future looks like. Even in moments of pain and challenge, your energy matters. Life will throw storms your way, loss, failure, rejection. You cannot always control what happens to you, but you can control what you give energy to. Will you feed the pain or will you feed the healing? Will you focus on what broke or on what can be built? That choice is what separates people who rise from people who remain stuck. The same storm can destroy one person and strengthen another, depending on where they direct their energy. So today ask yourself, what am I giving my energy to? Who am I giving my energy to? Do they help me grow or do they keep me stuck? Do they add to my destiny or do they steal from it? And most importantly, am I giving enough energy to myself, to my growth, my peace, my purpose? Because at the end of the day, your destiny is not built by chance. It is built by choice. And the biggest choice you have is how you spend the limited energy you are given every single day. Remember, this money can buy comfort, but energy shapes destiny. Fame can bring recognition, but energy shapes destiny. Even opportunities mean nothing if you don't have the energy to seize them. Your future is not written in the stars. It is written in your habits, your focus, your discipline, and your decisions about where your energy goes. So protect it, guard it, direct it with intention. Give it to the people who love you, to the dreams that inspire you, and to the purpose that fulfills you. Don't waste it convincing those who don't care or fighting battles that don't matter. Because every drop of energy you spend today is a brick in the house of your destiny. And when you look back years from now, you will either stand in a home of peace and fulfillment or in a ruin of regret. The choice is yours, and the choice is made not in the future, but in every single moment you decide where your energy goes today.